Hey, what is going on YouTube? What is happening, guys? Thank you everybody for tuning in to Rules for Rebels and another exciting episode of Side Hustle Tuesdays. Today is episode 68 of our Side Hustling series. Now, I think you guys are really going to love today's episode. First off, today's story is about the print-on-demand or POD industry. This is something that anybody can get started with little to no money, and it can even be done completely free. There's also very little specialized skills required. You don't need a website, you don't need to be a graphic designer by trade, and this is a very low barrier to entry business that almost anybody can get started with, not only today, but literally right now, and have a business set up within a couple of hours. Another exciting part about today's story is today's side hustler succeeded completely by accident. Today's side hustler didn't intend to launch a successful business. He was actually just doing some market research trying to improve his performance at his current day job, and completely by accident stumbled upon his side hustle, which to date has made him over $400,000. Today's side hustler is Mike Paisley. Now, Mike considers himself to be an idea man, and the only thing he likes better than coming up with ideas and brainstorming new business ideas and ways to make money is putting these ideas into action. Mike has been a long-time side hustler. At the age of 12, he created his first side hustle, which was an eBay store. And Mike has had some jobs over the years. He's also done some freelancing and some entrepreneurial stuff as well. A few years back, Mike pursued a degree in marketing, and after graduating, he did some freelancing for a while. He did some marketing in the craft beer space for a while, and he eventually found himself working as a digital marketer for Viral Style. Viral Style, for any of you guys who don't know, is an online garment or print-on-demand company that specializes in custom apparel. Now, this was Mike's first step into the POD or print-on-demand market, and for anybody who's not familiar with what Viral Style is, it's a site that lets anybody sell shirts through a crowd-funded format, so it's very similar to something like TeeSpring. Now, I'm sure most of you guys who watch my channel are already very familiar with what the print-on-demand industry or POD is and what these hustles are. Heck, we just did an Amazon merch video update the other day. But for anybody who's not familiar, print-on-demand is a business model where designers come up with designs, they upload them to a platform or a website, and from there, if the design sells, the POD company prints the site, collects the payment, ships the shirt, essentially does all the work for you. Now, some of these are set up in kind of a crowd-funded format, like Viral Style or TeeSpring, for example, and others are just independent sites like Printful, who will print out designs that you create, and you can connect something like Printful to Etsy, Amazon, or your own Shopify store, sell t-shirts, and have them printed one-off when a customer buys them. So Mike was working for Viral Style as a digital marketer. His job was to market the Viral Style platform to artists and designers and get more people using their service. One day Mike realized it would probably be helpful to actually go through the process that a designer or an artist goes through, so he has a better idea for the feel of the site and why the Viral Style platform would be a good one for people to use. He used Viral Style as well as Printify, Printful, and Threadable to throw up some practice stores. To Mike's surprise, the practice stores actually wound up bringing in real money, and not small money either. His designs were actually bringing in big money. People really seemed to like his designs, and before he knew it, this accidental hustle was bringing in more money than his day job. Mike used his first payout to pay off his student loans and instantly felt like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders. It wasn't a one-off month either. The money continued to roll in. As he made more shirts, he got a better grasp of both niches and design styles that people really liked and which sold. Soon he was bringing in over $10,000 a month. His costs were incredibly low as well, so most of this was profit. Mike's costs were really only a couple $100 per month that he used to run CPC campaigns on some of these sites, as well as some Facebook ad campaigns for some of the other stores. Mike said his biggest challenge was time. Not only did he have a full-time job with Viral Style, at this point he also had these print-on-demand businesses across a couple POD sites. He was going to grad school, he was doing some freelancing jobs, and also being a young bachelor, he was also attempting to have some semblance of a social life as well. Evenings and weekends, while he wasn't attending grad school classes or studying, he was working on his POD business, so free time was scarce. While it was hard work and sometimes frustrating and required sacrifice, Mike realized that he was making a short-term sacrifice for a long-term goal. Mike's advice to new POD sellers is, first and foremost, just get started. It literally doesn't cost a penny to get started in POD. Sure, if you want to run ads or open a Shopify store, that will cost some money, but it's not necessary. Anybody can set up an account with Amazon Merch, Redbubble, TeeSpring, or a number of other POD sites and start posting up designs today. Mike also says you don't need to have a ton of graphic design skills. You don't need to be an artist, and you don't even need to be that tech savvy. While having a background in graphic design can be incredibly helpful, at the end of the day, Mike says there's a host of programs out there that make designing as easy as drag and drop. Off the top, I don't know which ones he uses, but off the top of my head, we have things like Canva, Make Merch, Merch Informer just rolled out a new one, and then you also have pretty simple, easy-to-use sites like LunaPic and PicMonkey as well. Mike also says that while many of his designs are complicated and intricate, many of his best sellers are simple text designs that literally anybody could make. He also recommends experimenting and trying different ideas. You never know what's going to work out, and sometimes the most obscure designs, topics, and niches wind up being your best sellers, Mike said. Now, the POD or print-on-demand business is not without its downsides, and not everyone is going to be successful. The vast majority of people will probably squeak out a few $100 per month as opposed to Mike's experience, which was the exception more so than the norm, but Mike is now making over $10,000 per month. That said, it costs nothing to start, it can be very passive, and even a couple $100 per month is pretty good money. Some challenges to this industry is that there's a lack of a barrier to entry. While being able to start easily is a positive for you, it's also a negative in the sense that there's a lot of competition out there. Mike also said design theft is another big issue. People do and will steal good selling designs and make sales and try to steal some of your sales. Mike says it's really not worth pursuing people who do this. Just focus on yourself and creating designs and being on top of the latest trends, and let the copycats do what they do, because at the end of the day, you'll always be one step ahead of them. As far as Mike's progress with this business, by the end of 2017, Mike had earned over $400,000 from this project. Yes, you heard that right, $400,000. A vast majority of that being profit, as his expenses are few to none. Mike has since hired his first employee, and for this upcoming year of 2018, he set a revenue goal of $1 million in sales. So a couple comments on this business, this industry, and today's hustle. First off, is this a sustainable business model? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. There's really so many unknowns and variables. Mike is selling through third-party platforms, so if they go under, if they raise the base price of their shirts, really any change that they do could negatively affect his business. And that could negatively affect his business. The fact that you're working with third-party sites like this and something you don't have control over is always something that could be taken away from you. That said, if something like that were to happen, Mike could always go buy blanks and start printing his own shirts and have more control over his business, his supply chain, and even have better profit margins. So that definitely could be scaled and expanded. But here's the important thing. Whether this business is long-lasting or not, Mike is making money. He's learning skills which can be used down the road for other projects. He's also developing valuable skills in e-commerce, sales, marketing, and design, which will serve him down the road in other hustles as well. Oftentimes people refer to these kinds of hustles as goldmine hustles, something that just takes off beyond your wildest imagination and something that's way beyond your expectations. Sometimes they last for the long haul, and sometimes they don't. But either way, it's an amazing story and something which could possibly be replicated by you. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's story. I think today's side hustle is something very approachable to everybody watching this story. It's something any of you could literally get started with today, and I hope some of you do. If you enjoyed today's side hustle, please hit that thumbs up button. Please share this story on social media, and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, guys, this is Rules for Rebels and Side Hustle Tuesdays, signing out.